Richard Bonney is Harrison Foundation Professor of Medicine and Law and Director of the Institute of Law, Psychiatry, and Public Policy at the University of Virginia. He was chairman of the Virginia Commission on Mental Health Law Reform, and in 2012 met with Vice President Joe Biden on reducing gun violence following the Sandy Hook shooting.
What we have been trying to do is to find evidence-based solutions to this problem. I think everybody recognizes that we have a serious problem with gun-related suicides and homicides and other violence in this country. It's been difficult to find middle ground solutions to these problems that take adequate account of the strongly felt commitments that people have. The basic idea here is if people have direct evidence of an elevated risk of violence, that can be what people have said about, I think I might as well just kill myself, or that they may make an observation about what happened in one of these shootings, for example, and say, I've been thinking about doing that too. People who have direct evidence of these concerns should be able to go to either a law enforcement agency or the court directly and present personal firsthand information that documents the risk, and that then, based on a court order, law enforcement officials can go remove guns from that person or from their home. After that initial intervention, the law does require that there be due process at that point in terms of an actual hearing where the judge, hears the evidence and has to find, based on that evidence in this context, that there is elevated risk and that the gun should be removed for a period of time, just say potentially 6 months or a year. This is about acute risk. And I think the focus in the proceedings is on acute risk. There's lots of bodies of law and lots of constitutional law under which, the due process clause that courts have interpreted will allow these emergency interventions for incipient problems. And even if it turns out that it wasn't warranted, it's just not better safe than sorry, right? Legislatures have gradually been adopting these laws. Before the Parkland shooting, we had already had 6 states, that had adopted them, and in the wake of that shooting, there are now 15 states that have had it, and the NRA has endorsed the laws, as did President Trump. As some of these mass shootings have occurred, we've been calling attention to how, useful these laws could be. When people are worried in our society, they never know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, is it an appropriate thing if you're worried about someone to talk about it with someone else? This idea of the gun violence restraining order or extreme risk protection order also, as I said, dovetails with that larger issue of trying to help people know what to do when they really have genuine worries about whether somebody is dangerous. I think that, so many people in our country would like to, stop with the sound bites and try to actually do something that we can agree on, find the common ground on this.